That was Duran Duran with Girls on Film. In just over 20 years behind the lens, Norfolk-born celebrity photographer Andy Gott has shot some of the biggest stars in Hollywood, from Al Pacino, Robert De Niro and Clint Eastwood to Meryl Streep, Brad Pitt and Julia Roberts. Recently awarded an MBE for services to photography, the award-winning 40-year-old's latest challenge is to capture the image of every living actor to have won a BAFTA. Welcome to the Radio 2 Art Show, Andy. Thank you so much for coming in. What an extraordinary challenge.
It's overwhelming in some sense because the diversity of the people who've won a BAFTA. Because people think BAFTA winner, A-list celebrity.
No, but people who do wonderful sound or costume or...
Oh, no, what I'm doing is just actors.
Right.
It's only the actors, but because otherwise there'll be just far too many.
Yeah.
So basically I'm doing the best actor, best actress, best supporting actor, supporting actress, and the fellowship. It's like the 5 categories, all actors, because that's my thing, actors.
And didn't this come to you in a dream? That you woke up and thought... Because I've seen your beautiful photographs of Kate Winslet, who I believe you've known for a long time.
A long while.
And you woke up and thought, oh gosh, hold on a minute, I just had a dream where I photographed Kate and every BAFTA winner. I mean, amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a very long, drawn-out project because some people done one movie and won a BAFTA and then have gone into like oblivion somewhere. But there's one lady who won the BAFTA for Gandhi, and she lives like in Calcutta in the middle of nowhere. So trying to track her down is going to be hard.
Yeah.
But there's BAFTA winners scattered all over the world, so lots of travelling.
Lots of air miles. And also, I mean, we'll talk about the people you shoot. You've just showed me a beautiful photograph of Meryl Streep that I think you shot last week.
Indeed.
Where she looks so beautiful. Do you love photographing actors because they sort of act for you? I'm looking at a lot of your work now. A lot of them are very raw. Mm-hmm. They're sort of just themselves, if you like. But Meryl, she's looking down, she's sort of downcast, beautifully lit. Do you discuss what you're going to do beforehand? How does it work?
What I do, the term celebrity photographer is very easily bounded about, but my style is I photograph somebody, warts and all. There is not 10 hours of post-production. It's just as they are on the day when they sit down. I normally have a rough idea what I want. Like with Meryl, I always do some research. So I don't copy anyone else's pictures, etc. And she's always like very flatly lit. So it's very flattering for the older lady. But I wanted to get away from it and do a bit more harder lighting, more theatrical lighting.
Yeah.
And I think it works well. I mean, so many actors are photographed all the time. And what's fascinating, I mean, actors hate being photographed. And that's the fascinating thing, I think, because you think their career is sitting in front of a camera.
Yes, but it's different because then they're not allowed to move for you. Or they can move, but
they're being themselves. That's what they hate. I mean, normally to loosen them up, you get them to play a role or something, or just pretend to be someone, and they sort of loosen up straight away. But if they're there as themselves, they can be a bit wooden and a bit tricky.
As you say, something like George Clooney. Let's just talk about George. He has been photographed a gazillion times. He's walked into more studios, shaken more hands with more photography assistants, and I'm sure he's charming. I bet he's not tricky about, I want this kind of a car and I would like this kind of vegan sandwich with a small rice cake flour on top. However, how do you make it a different experience? Because you must be thinking, I'd like to photograph you again. I want to be a repeat photographer, you know, like Annie Leibovitz or people where they go, I want that person.
Exactly.
So what do you do differently?
I work with no assistants.
Yeah.
I have no makeup team. It's myself and my camera. I have no entourage. I turn up normally at their house if I can because they're a bit more relaxed there, and just photograph them in their environment and just talking to them as you talk to your best friend. There's no airs and graces. There's no, you're on a plinth and I'm down there. We're on a level. And as it's so intimate and there's no one else there, it's lovely because you sort of become friends almost straight away. And they're open and tell you stories you'd never hear or read anywhere, which is fantastic. But George Clooney was amazing because I got to photograph him through Brad Pitt. I was shooting Brad in Shepperton Studios and he was doing Troy, so it was a few years ago. And we got on so well. I mean, it's unbelievable how well myself and Brad got on. And he said, you're such a nice guy. Is there anything I can do for any of your projects or anything you're doing? Can I do anything for you? And I said, if you can get me one of your best mates to photograph, a big star, then I can use it for a project. Got out his mobile phone, dialed a number, had a bit of a laugh on the phone, gave me the phone.
No.
And it was George. And he said, Andy, this is George. I'm in Lake Como for the summer. Come over, have a weekend here.
No.
So I went over on a Friday, stayed there Friday and Saturday. I'm back home on Sunday. It was myself, George and his girlfriend, and a cook.
You're joking.
And he was the most loveliest guy.
Hold on a minute.
in the
Andy,
world.
just stop what you're doing. So that's all I have to do, is what you're telling me.
Yeah.
I have to pretend I want to take his photo and I'm in Italy for a weekend with
Exactly.
a cook. George doesn't
Absolutely.
even have to be there.
Not at all.
Are you ever disappointed? I mean, I've interviewed people before. You meet people, I mean, you must have thought, I'm going to go and photograph so-and-so, and you go and you meet them.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's always that. But I've been so lucky because 99.9% of everyone I photograph have been divine.
Yeah.
You meet the odd one or two, and are they having a bad day? That's why they're acting that way, or is that who they are? I mean, there's an actress I photographed a while ago, and she was didn't want to be in the room. She was a nightmare, and she didn't want to do nothing, and that was very tricky to get some sort of response from her. And so I ended up calling her every name you can imagine, any swear word you can conjure up. I called these names.
Yeah.
She thought I was joking and started to laugh. Then I got my shots.
Yeah.
But I said out of 70 shots, I got 3 that I could use, I suppose.
How much film do you go through? Do you know when you've got the photo? Do you know when you go, do you know what? Thank you so much, Miss Julia Roberts. Our work is done.
Well, I mean, normally I can get what I want in the first 5-6 shots, and then I just fill time doing other things. I mean, I know exactly what I want when I get there.
But also, I love the backstory. Your portrait of Anthony Hopkins is completely it's just really arresting. And what you said that was great, which you said he had such bad cold. He was so ill. He just sat there. And so, if you like, he didn't turn it on, which was what makes it so powerful.
Absolutely, because he was doing a movie over here, and there's lots of outdoor work, and he had this flu, and he was sent home from the shoot to the hotel. And so I shot him that day when he was having a day off, and he was full of flu, and he did so poorly. But he got out, done the shoot, and he came in, sat down and glared at me, and these big puffy eyes and a bit of a grumpy face, and shooting in black and white with his black and grey beard.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just amazing. I mean, he was like an exception. Also, Tony Curtis, he was amazing, but he was really poorly. I shot him literally 2 weeks before he passed away in his house in Henderson, just under Vegas, and he was in a wheelchair, very immobile, but he still was that great actor. And he sat there. He was just so delightful. I mean, it was literally story after story of Marilyn and the 50s and Sinatra, and it was magical. And being a movie buff, hearing these stories one-to-one, it's like Paul Newman. You sit in Paul Newman's house, it's just you and Paul, and Joanna in the background making a coffee, and it's just you and him.
Whipping up some salad dressing.
Absolutely.
Saving the world. You are amazing. I love your life.
Thank you.
I know you don't have any assistants.
No.
If you needed one, I'm very useful.
Yes.
I think you might have the best job in the whole world. And I thought I had it. And also, just if anybody's listening, they should go and get your book called Degrees, which is based on the game 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. It's obviously the best game in the whole world.
Absolutely.
And you're putting together this BAFTA project, which is going to be wonderful. And people can also look out for icons because you're doing that project.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be a massive one as well, because I'm doing that for Elton John. And it's basically the icons of movies, of music, of popular culture, people that reach the apex of their business.
Okay.
Everything I do is normally actor-based, but now I'm shooting people like B.B. King and Jose Carreras and
Amazing.
all these amazing singers as
All
well.
right. Thank you so much for coming in. Thank
Pleasure.
you. Good luck with all your projects. The British Academy Film Awards are on Sunday, the 12th of February, and we'll be previewing them on this show on Friday, February the 10th. Thank you very much
It's
again.
a pleasure. Thank you.
BBC introduces